Hello and welcome to another 5-minute first impressions. I am Anthony Mallock and this is reviewyour.website. Today we will be reviewing devtools.online. So let's have a look at this. Loading up. Okay. Alright. So that did take a little bit to load up. I'll admit that could possibly be my own connection here. It sometimes tends to be a little bit slow. As it happens, I think this website actually handled it fairly well. As the different elements loaded, you could see that these boxes down here had a little animation on load, which is kind of nice. However, there was a lot of stuff that took a long time to load. In particular, the content in the middle here and the stuff on the left. So this website seems slightly familiar. I may have reviewed this at some point in the past, but I can't quite remember much about it. So let's have a look. DevTools. The first thing that's attracting my attention is this little box up here. I suppose that's really just where the eye is attracted to at the top left. The next thing actually that's really attracting my attention straight away is this big Bing ad down here, which is it's just standing out as being a bit odd. It's just a little bit, doesn't line up with anything. It's a really weird place for an ad. I suppose probably if you can get a lot of people to the website, it'll probably generate you a lot of revenue, but I don't particularly like the placement of the ad, and I think it's detracting a lot from your design. However, let's continue. So devtools.online, a massive collection of web development tools. Very interesting. Good resource to have. Okay, so share this page. Okay, I think the share this page is probably not needed at this point. If people want to share your page, they're going to copy the URL and log into their social media. So what I would do, I'd actually get this out of here in favor of getting the content first. So we do have a search feature and we have a login. Beyond that, what have we got on the left? I assume these are different categories: development, design, web hosting, marketing. And then within that, then we have, I think these are subcategories. And then I assume then in the center here is the content. So overall, this doesn't look like a landing page for the service. It doesn't describe what the service, I suppose a massive collection of web development tools does describe kind of what it does, but it doesn't describe to me how to use the service or anything like that. I feel like this page is very cluttered, and I would like to have something just to describe and walk me through the process of finding a tool or something like that. Pretend I'm a complete idiot and I can't figure it out for myself. But let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to assume Bootstrap is here, so let's have a search for that. Ooh. Okay, so a lot of animation going on here. We have a new ad, which is again kind of irritating, and then we have the stuff loading in here dynamically, which is pretty good. I didn't have to hit enter or anything like that. Another ad down the bottom here. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we have two cards here, which should be the items that we're looking for. What have we got? Bootstrap with the link and Bootstrap for cheat sheet. Okay, so that makes sense. And we've got a little blurb of what they are. Describe them. Added today. Added 3 days ago. Bootstrap was added today. That's a coincidence. Yeah, and we can like them. It's very obvious. The difference between like and star is not obvious at all. And share. Okay, I don't know why I'd want to share that, but anyway, maybe other people might. Okay, so the search feature is pretty straightforward and it does what we want it to do, and it's given us some extra stuff. Let's have a look down here on the left. Design. Everything. So it will show everything. Okay, and I like the colors. It's that's really nice. You've got a color for each category and it stays the same for all of them. Yeah, so far what I think is very good about this design is that it is quite well laid out in terms of proportions and alignment. That you do have these cards which individually seem quite well designed. You've got the interactions at the bottom. They all seem to be common. They've got common image heights. You've got the titles and the hashtag underneath for each one, and then your little blurb and the time. That's great. I really like that, and it's reusable. It's a good design pattern to use in the future, and it means as a user I don't have to concentrate too hard on what I'm trying to find. I don't like the ads, as I've said already. Design. Okay, so obviously the hash is the category, so this is within the color schemes category, I'm guessing it. Okay, so that's not quite as obvious straight away. There's nothing to describe what these are. I think perhaps maybe a little text up here that could just say categories or subcategories, to make that obvious, because the pound sign or the hashtag or the hash symbol is not, it's synonymous these days with hashtags, which doesn't necessarily mean a subcategory or something like that, unless you're coming from you're coming from some particular service that does use that before, which I'm not. Okay, so we'll move on. Let's see, web hosting, and the color for web hosting is blue. Okay, and the fact that it's funny that my previous thing, when I click the category here, it doesn't necessarily jump straight to everything in this window here. Okay, right. I like the back to top button up here, is quite nice. Alright, so we've got a lot of stuff going on. So let's see what happens when we click a link. Does it take me straight to the website? Okay, so I would expect that clicking the grey button rather than, or this grey box rather than clicking the actual link in the center, would take me to where I want to go. Okay, so that's taking me there. Okay, grand. Yeah, I would assume that the whole grey thing at the top. Okay, so a few funny things that are happening, yeah. As I mouse over here, it's going grey for the whole card rather than just the image at the top. If I'm trying to look at something, I want to find a little bit more information about, let's say everybody knows what DigitalOcean is, but let's say I wanted to know a little bit more about DigitalOcean, and I mouse over it because when I'm concentrating on something, I move my mouse closer to it, and I assume other people do that as well, although I don't have any data to back that up. I immediately can't see what I wanted to do, and then I want to move the mouse away, which just makes me feel a little bit awkward. I would suggest when the making the image go grey only when I put the mouse over the image rather than the whole card, and then allowing the entire image to be a link. I do like the animation when you put your mouse over the link, which possibly, actually, I know even if you made the whole thing a link, even this animation on the mouse enter is probably still a good UI feature to have. It will reinforce the idea that this is interactive, although it's quite obvious that it is, but it will reinforce that. So I would leave that there, but I definitely make being able to click, I'm clicking here on the grey bit, that go to the link. Okay, so this is the title. Where does that bring me also? Okay, that brings me also to the same link as this, and these I assume bring me back to a category. Reshuffles a category. Okay, interesting. And we go down here. I would like to have a little bit more information. If I'm interested in something, I would like to be able to click more info to go to maybe just an extra paragraph, but obviously that's going to mean adding a huge amount of more content here. Overall though, yeah, I think the design of these cards is really nice. Yeah, it definitely works very well. Okay. Alright. So yeah, I guess at this point, okay, alright, so the footer down here only appears, I would expect it to be something down perhaps here, although that will be taking away from a lot of the space you have, but scrolling down to the bottom here to get that footer seems kind of tricky to me. If I refresh this page, how do I get to the footer? Oh, there default. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. But it's gone again. Alright. And I have to scroll a long way down to get to that footer. I wonder, would there be a better place? Because I would like to see about DevTools, because this is, I suppose, as I said, the first thing I want to do when I come to the website is I want something to explain to me what this is and how I use it. And I mean, the description, if I'm using this correctly, the description is quite simple. I want to, you want to tell me, click a category and click a subcategory and find tools within that subcategory, or search. And that's that's 2 sentences, or in fact it's 1 sentence that will describe the whole service. And that's kind of all I want. In fact, if I was to click this, instead of loading everything, as you do, have that text somewhere, just, to describe it. Make that text obvious. Just make it a little bit more obvious how to use the service. I mean, other than that, it isn't a very busy design, and there doesn't seem to be much white space at all. However, the design is well done. The colors are nice. The font is nice, and the graphics are nice and crisp, which makes up and of course everything is well aligned here. This isn't, but there's not much you can do about that. The alignment and the actual structure of the page makes up for the lack of white space. I think, yeah. So the main thing I think this is lacking is a good description. I'm trying to find something else now. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So I hope this review was useful, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks very much.